You're listening to the Things About Nature podcast. Coming to you from a city that never sleeps is me, your host, Rockshana. I invite you to join me in truly honest, passionate, and fun talks that motivate, invigorate, and maybe inspire. Even though we're no longer in the mile high, the sky is still the limit. Everything and anything goes. So let's start talking about things of that nature. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Things That Nature podcast. I'm your host, Rockshana, and I think we have a trend going. The last few episodes have been from people from Canada, and yet again, our guest today, Jamie Loreth, is from Canada. I don't know. Like I was saying, I think the universe is telling me I should visit.
Sounds like it. You're getting signs.
So, hey, Jamie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. The weather's warming up here, so I've got nothing to complain about.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and pronounce where you are, because I know I'm going to say it wrong.
I'm in Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Okay. So is that like cold, mountain?
Not in the mountains. No, we're in the flat prairies, but we get a really lovely, bitter cold wind usually in our winters. So actually this winter was quite mild considering most of our winters, but we do hit the -40, -50 with the wind quite often, anywhere between November to March. So we can get cold, but it started warming up nicely. We're in and I guess we use Celsius, so we're at about 22 today, so it's quite nice. It's short weather, so.
Wow, you just said 22 was nice. For me, that is still in a negative.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's nice and warm here, so yeah.
Wow. Now, without COVID affecting the world, do you visit the States at all?
When I get a chance to travel, I do. I've been to a few places. I've got a whole big bucket list more to check off once COVID lightens things up. But yeah, I have been to New Orleans and Las Vegas and lots of places in North Dakota, South Dakota, Florida. Just trying to think. I've hit a few places, but not many, but I got lots more to go.
Yeah, the places that you visited they're pretty good. You're doing good on this list, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, I love to eat and I love to see different things. There's not much where I'm from, so it's really fun to be able to go places and see what the rest of the world has to offer. So I love being able to take in all those different aspects and all those different cities. So
nice, cool. So were you traveling because of your book or just traveling to explore the world?
Just traveling to travel. Lots of it was mostly just fun and a getaway from life here. Like I said, there's not much to do here in any aspect really. So and I should travel Canada more, but I don't know. I've just New Orleans and Vegas and California's next on my list. That's been a lifelong goal for some reason, but I don't know. It's just an entirely different world. So that's why I tend to migrate south. Plus the weather always seems to be warmer there and I love warm weather. So
yes. I see. So you wrote The Pink Blanket. Is that your first book?
It is my first, yes. And it's the first of a series. So I'm in the process of working on the second book, which COVID also kind of threw a bit of a kink into because my plan was to write the first. I've never been to Italy, and my goal was to visit Italy before I wrote the second because I really wanted to be able to have that authentic feel portrayed in my book. So I'm kind of just writing the storyline and figuring out how I'm going to do it in case I can't get over there before it's ready to publish. So, but yeah, and then there's just other works that I'm working on here and there. So,
okay. Is Italy like your setting aspect, or is just kind of where you want to grab some inspiration from?
No, Italy and Chicago. So the first book mainly takes place in Chicago. Both the main character, Taya, and the man that she meets are originally from Italy. Um, and I believe it's just Italy is just something it's just been a long-standing dream to visit Italy. And so when I was writing, I always knew right from the get-go Italy would be a big part in it. And so it's I from the first book I did a lot of research. I probably did a lot of research for maybe a year and a half before I even started writing, just trying to get a background because I wanted in writing the book and having never been there to at least be able to kind of give a sense that, people reading wouldn't be like, wow, that's way off the wall, or just it's only minimal amounts in the first one, so I feel like I was okay and did an okay job of what I did need to put into the book. um but yeah, the majority of it is actually in Chicago, which is also another place I dream of going but haven't been there, so
That's brave.
it is. Sometimes I think I was crazy, but it seems to be okay so far. So
Wow, yeah, that's really cool. What made you want to write a book?
I mean, I don't know, from the time as far as I can think back, I always wanted to be an actress and I always loved writing. And I don't know, from the time I was young, like I said, there's nothing to do here. So I had a very creative imagination and I read like avid reader, and I would write poems and songs and stories. And I was from a really small town, so then I would write up little movie skits for me and my friends and my siblings and neighbors to act out. And I was always writing. And I started to reach that point in life where it was like you start reevaluating where you are, where you're going, and where you hope to be, and if I was going to have any regrets. And so I don't know, I had an idea that came to my head. I guess one thing that really prodded me along was I was in a really, really unhealthy marriage relationship for several years. And I just really was starting to, I guess I had lost sight of the fact that my life was worth something too. And so when I kind of started to get that back, Um, I always tell people I had a talk with myself, and it just kind of came up with it was now or never. And it was something that I would regret if I didn't at least try. And so once I finally put the pen to paper, it just kept coming. And I have been fortunate and grateful that I was able to get my story out and in a book form and in readers' hands. So
Now, is the book about you? Or what's the book about?
the book is not about me specifically. It is about a woman who she was in an abusive marriage. She's leaving him. She has a reason that prompted her to make the decision she did to finally make that choice to go. She anticipates going back to Italy. But she knows that trying to leave him, they had built their life in Chicago. And so she knows that it's not going to be easy. But she wants to go back. And then, of course, just to keep things interesting, she runs into a man who kind of tosses all of the plans that she had in her mind and, kind of throws them all up in the air and tosses them around and makes her rethink and maybe realize that maybe she isn't just completely dead inside and on a one way track, that maybe there is more to life and maybe she is willing to open up to other possibilities. But of course her ex-husband causes problems, and there's just different things that I can't say everything because I don't want to give the book away, but it just kind of keeps her I guess guessing, but also appreciative of the fact that, you know what, maybe with the courage to make the decision to see that she deserves to have a better life, that there is opportunities out there that, you know, aren't all bad, and that might actually add to her life. So yeah, it's not about me. There's nothing. I've had people, you know, who've read the book, who know me, who kind of know what my situation was, or lack thereof, because I didn't, you know, really talk about it. And I would never do that. I don't want my life in my books, but I feel that I had a pretty solid understanding of some of the emotions and aspects that Taya goes through, and so I tried to put an authentic feel into her character, in the sense that she would be relatable to people, should somebody read it that, you know, might be in that situation, or, you know, going through something that just, I don't know. To me, writing was an escape. Reading is an escape. I always said I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. I can't seem to find it for myself. So I decided to write about it. And I don't know. I just, I just used it as kind of a therapy, and getting some of those emotions and thoughts and feelings out through her helped me when I was writing. And not only that, it was kind of in the sense where at the end of it, I was in a place where I had zero self-confidence, zero like anything. I was pretty much just a shallow puddle of, let's just live day by day. Just because a person can get in your head and really make you feel like you're nothing, kind of. And so in a sense, when I started writing it and when I finished, I'd realized how much I had grown as a person, and just the fact that I was willing to build up enough courage to attempt to write a book, which, I mean, I had no schooling, you know, other than high school, but I didn't have anything, and I mean, I've been out of school for 20 some years, so it was a little intimidating and scary, and the world can be a cruel place if you know, for criticism and stuff like that. But I just really, I don't know, something just really made me feel like I needed to get those words on paper and tell that story. And I don't know, I don't know, ultimately I guess it was just so, for myself, I wanted to do something so that I didn't have regrets, and chase a dream and fulfill it. And I guess maybe if possibly I could, you know, help one person to feel better, or make a choice that they're contemplating, or, you know, going through that, to know that there's, you know, it's just, there's a little bit of reality or whatever in there, then I would be happy to know that I could have helped somebody in some way. And I guess that kind of too, when I was writing, um, also kind of triggered something that I'm in the process of trying to get together, is the Pink Blanket campaign, and that's providing shelters for women and children fleeing domestic violence with pink blankets, so that when they arrive, they have something that's theirs, something that was nobody else's, and, you know, just kind of like a soft warm hug when you walk through a door of a really intimidating and new and scary world. So it's been really awesome for me to actually just do it, and I'm grateful that I found the courage to do it. Whatever comes of it, I mean, that's to be seen, but yeah. So kind of a long-winded explanation, but that's where it all is. So
That's awesome how you used writing to get through things, and at the same time potentially help someone else if they just happen to find the book and pick it up and like, oh wow, this is something different, there's another way. kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.